Hey guys, welcome. I have a question. Did you hear Megan the Stallion's new song Cobra? Like, have you listened to it? And I want to hear your opinion if you're watching this on YouTube, of course. Um, you know, what do you think about the part where Megan the Stallion says that she walks in on her boyfriend getting his male parts sucked by another woman in the same place that she rests her head? I think that is like the uh that's like the part of the song that everyone is like, hold on, have you heard this? Have you heard this? Have you heard this? And I think the reason why everyone is like, wait, this is what caused the breakup between her and Party is because I mean, who else could she be talking about, right? That's one. Two, when they broke up, they seemingly just like split. It was no like, hey, we're breaking up, we're parting ways. You know, like how, the celebrity couples, they'll like break up and then they'll have like this Instagram post where they detail how, magnificent their relationship was, but they just aren't like able to work things out. Well, they didn't do that. They just parted ways. We saw Megan doing her own thing. We saw Party doing his own thing. So it's like, is this the reason why you broke up with this man? Right? But we don't know for sure, but it's sounding like it. It's sounding like it. But anyway, for those of you who it's your first time visiting our podcast, I would like to introduce myself. I am Kay. Welcome to Chat with KST. This is an entertainment podcast where we just sit down and discuss all the celebrities and the various controversies they have going on in the media, right? It entertains us for about an hour or so. So just kind of stick around and stay tuned, right? Now, first thing first, we're going to discuss the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day comes from Dolly Parton. Okay. Now, what Dolly said was, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. Now, we see it a lot of times and even experience it ourselves where we want the glitz, we want the glam, we want the magnificent house, we want the awesome relationship, we want the long term marriage, we want the awesome friendships. However, when those difficult hurdles and battles come up in the in the relationship or in the connection, we tend to fold, right? And what Dolly is essentially saying is, hey, like you got to deal with the rain. You got to deal with the struggles of the rain before you can experience the beauties, right, of the rainbow. So if you are feeling like, hey, I'm in a difficult point in my life right now, just keep pushing through, be consistent, and you'll get to the rainbow essentially, right? You get to the beautiful rainbow. But anyway, let's jump into these topics. Now, one thing I did forget to mention for those of you who are listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can always come on over to YouTube to check out the visuals. And those of you who are on YouTube and you're like, hey, I can't really look at the screen or whatever, and you want to just catch our audio podcast, you can definitely check out Spotify or Apple Podcast. All right. So let me just put that disclaimer out there. And what I am currently looking at is Drake and his Halloween costume. So Drake decided to be Ice Spice for Halloween. Was anyone else shocked by this? And what I can say about this Ice Spice Drake situation, I love the fact that in the beginning, when we were being introduced to Ice Spice, and she did go and have that hangout with Drake or whatever, wherever the hangout was, whatever they did, it's none of my business. However, when they were at that hangout spot, something, I don't know what it was, something went wrong, right? Because for Drake to, after they hung out, all of a sudden unfollow Ice Spice, something had to have kind of through whatever the connection was, whether it's a business relationship, friendship, romantic partnership, whatever they were trying to, like build at that point, something threw that off for Drake, which made him unfollow her. In the beginning, when we were like being introduced to Ice Spice, what I love was the fact that Ice Spice kept it peace. She kept it professional. She didn't react and lash out like most women in the industry would, especially most upcoming rapper. Because if she would have lashed out as an upcoming rapper, it would have been the perspective of, okay, well, she can garner some clout. And you know what? Ice Spice did not take that route. And I applaud her for that. She took the humble route. She was like, hey, nah, Drake is cool. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, you have to probably talk to him about it. But for me, Drake is cool. So now seeing Drake months later show up as Ice Spice for his Halloween costume, I'm like, what just the full circle moment? But let's take a look at Drake.
That nigga a month. You thought I was feeling you? No. That nigga a month. You thought I was feeling you? No. That nigga a month. You thought.
Look, I can't, okay? And he's like flashing the hair, like he's doing it all. Like, like I just feel like you can't say anything bad about this moment, right? All I can say is shout out to Ice Spice. She is definitely getting the recognition within the industry, not like in the industry and on the streets. So you know what? Kudos, my girl. All right. Let's move on. All right. Now, do you guys remember the other day we were discussing this on our podcast, but just the other day, Saucy Santana got into it with DJ Academics, right? And the situation between Saucy Santana and DJ Academics was that Saucy Santana was upset about some of the things that DJ Academics had been saying about the City Girls. And Saucy Santana, being Young Miami's best friend, decided to stand up for her and really, really did come at DJ Academics, right? Now, DJ Academics ended up making a video where he cried about the comment that Saucy Santana made, where he said he was going to place his man parts in his, like, violate him, right? And so we saw all of that, right? And we also saw like DJ Academics perhaps not wanting to go against Saucy Santana too much. And I do think it's partly because I think because a part of the fact that he is in the LGBTQIA community, he doesn't really want to slip up and say anything that can essentially get him canceled. So he's refrained from doing that. Now, Queen Latifah, have you guys ever heard from Queen Latifah? Like, I haven't heard from Queen Latifah, I think, since like there was like a BET award show where she was like being recognized and honored. Like we don't see Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is one of those girls who have she knows how to tuck her life away. She knows how to maneuver in Hollywood, and of course, she has the years of experience to do that. So, did it surprise anyone when um Queen Latifah made this post saying, it's crazy to me how DJ Academics is crying scared to say anything to Saucy Santana because he's a gay man and he's scared of getting canceled, but has said some of the most outlandish, vile, disrespectful, and demeaning things to Black women with absolutely no fear whatsoever. Brings me back to Malcolm X's quote: the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected person in America is the Black woman. Um, I feel like there is some truth to what Queen Latifah is saying. I seriously do. Um and I wish that there was a shift in regards to that, because we see it. If you, and I'm just speaking based on my observations here. If you say something like, look at Kanye West. Kanye West got canceled for being anti-Semitic. So did Irvin, for just saying whatever the hell they said, right? Um with um the LGBTQIA community, you can get canceled in the blink of an eye. Like, you can't even, you just can't, right? However, when it comes to black women, it's like, when do you ever see there being backlash about something heinous that someone has said about black women, right? Especially as it pertains to black men saying it. I feel like if it's someone out of our culture, our community saying something, then the community can sometimes stand up. But when a black man disrespects a black woman, it's like, you know. So I kind of understand where Queen Latifah is coming from. What I do want to say is, and I said this yesterday, DJ Academics has to clean up the way in which he does things. I feel like the way he does it, like, someone speaking their authentic opinion isn't disrespect. If you get what I'm saying? Like, if DJ Academics can get into his room and speak his authentic opinion and be real and say, "Hey, I don't think the city girls are it," without like the extra B words and everything else, I think that wouldn't be disrespectful. But because he does add those different, the bitches and the whores, like he adds like all the little sazon to what he's saying, that that makes it become disrespectful. But I do want to point out that the underlining message um is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Is his truth, right? And like, and I think this is going to be a theme for today's show, because it's like the same thing with Keith Lee and stuff like that. I feel like people, given their constructive criticism on certain things, isn't disrespect. It's just them sharing their thoughts and opinion on stuff. But you know what? Queen Latifah spoke, so we're going to accept it, cuz we understand the point, right? So it's like, if we understand the point, then we can accept the point for what it is. Okay, so let's move on. So this person basically calls out another, right? So the person's name is This Ain't Me at All, right? And this person says, don't delete it, boo. Let's chat. Now, what is This Ain't Me at All referring to? This Ain't Me at All is referring to Amari's post saying, getting your hair done for your friend's birthday don't seem weird. I don't know. Like, so she's basically saying, if it's your friend's birthday coming up and you go out and you go get all dolled up and stuff like that, isn't that kind of weird that you're getting your hair done for your best friend's birthday? And actually, I think it's weird if you don't get dolled up for your best friend's birthday. Like, I don't know, like with my best friend, it's like it's going to be like a thing. Like, the girls are girls in. We're going out, we're having drinks, we're looking good, we're looking fly, we're having fun, we're eating, we're doing it all, right? So it's like, why wouldn't we get dressed up? Why wouldn't we go do our hair? Why wouldn't we go order an outfit? Like, excuse me? This is an event. Like, we are celebrating. Like, when we are celebrating something, you put your best foot forward, you bring your best self. I'm like, but I think what her mind frame was, Amari, the person who made this post, was that you're trying to in some way one up your best friend if you decide to get your hair done. And I think that plays on her own insecurities. So it's like maybe she's not the friend that dresses up and stuff, where she has a friend who does that and she feels like her friend is one up in her because she does that. But I'm like, no, 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 no. That's you're you, they're them. That's not what's going on. We're celebrating you on your birthday, okay? So if I invite you to my party on my birthday, look the hell good. Excuse me? All right. Now let's move on. Uh to Sexy Red and Kaya. Now, Sexy Red and Kaya, they've been going back and forth, and I swear I'm done covering this story from this point on because I feel like the debate or the back and forth between Sexy Red and Kaya is kind of a little bit pointless. So this was something that Sexy Red said was Kaya will get them old bones dragged in real life, but she don't got enough money to be in the same room as me. So this is just her responding to Kaya and her gag order read. Now, my thing is like, it seems like no one wants to stop the battle. And I feel like if Sexy Red continues down the path, it's going to be another Trina versus Kaya or Saucy versus Kaya. And I'm just like, allow people to just be them. Allow people to say what they want. Like just allow them. And then I feel like that's like the most beautiful thing, right? When someone speaks and they tell you who they are, now you know how to navigate. Why do you have to respond? So for me, this is definitely the last time I'm talking about this Kaya Sexy Red situation, unless it escalates to really bad, of course. But for the most part, I'm done talking about it, right? Now, let's move on to Burna Boy. Now, according to Neighborhood Talk, Burna Boy reveals he turned down $5 million to perform in Dubai because smoking is banned there. Burna, Burna, yeah, tell me say you couldn't wait a little DR2? And that's what you tell me say? $5 million. But then again, we are in different tax brackets, right? So, like, this is way above my pay grade. This is definitely way above my pay grade. But let's look at this video.
Dubai money, $5 million now small thing. Cause me I know they like to they go where they no go green me smoky go. Jonathan I tell you, but you know say you go clear my way. I be champion every way. One day you go understand my.
Okay, so that's just Burna Boy singing. Now, I'm not like African or anything, but I think Igbo means marijuana. Like I don't know if it's Igbo. Like I just know in his song Last he says something about like Shayo something Igbo, like, I just know it's partying and weed, if I remember correctly. Like, look, you know what? But here he is saying in his native tongue that he turned down $5 million. Berna, I'ma need you to not. But anyway, let's move own. Now, for those of you who are listening to this on the audio podcast, I came across this post and it says, now this is how you do Halloween. And basically, it's someone, I guess, on campus with Patrick Star Halloween costume on. Let's look at it. Like, I saw this and I'm like, look, Halloween costume of the century, okay? I feel like I like with Patrick and SpongeBob, I can always get me a good old laugh. But let's move on to this story from the Shade Room where a Michigan woman chooses between lottery prizes, right? So she chooses between 25K a year for life or 390K for of a one-time payment. All right. So real quick, I kind of stumbled on myself a little bit because I was ready to go in on this story because I'm like, when I read it, I thought it said 25K a month, right? So let me do the math here. 390K divided by 25. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute, I do. All right, let me just do. Okay, so what would you guys choose, right? Because after reviewing the math, if you choose the 25K a year prize, you will be okay. It would take you 15 years to make the 390, right? It would take you 15 plus years to make the 390. I think if it were me, I would probably take the 25K a year. But then it's like I can invest in something if I have the lump sum of money, right? And maybe I wouldn't even need the 25K after 15 years. I don't know. I don't know. Comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. What the hell would you choose? 25K a year for life or the 390K in a one time payment? Now, let's move on. Now, here we have Chloe Bailey. Now, Chloe Bailey was dressed as Incredible Woman and she was serving looks, looking gorgy, 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 gorgy. If it's one thing Chloe Bailey has, with in addition to her awesome vocals, is body, okay? Is body. So here she is looking amazing. And that was her Halloween costume. And I like the fact that the celebrities are like putting effort into their costumes and stuff each and every year. It does get better. So yeah, there Chloe Bailey is looking amazing. Now let's move on to this 47-year-old woman who's been arrested and charged with murder after fatally poisoning her boyfriend after he inherited $30 million. Mama, oh, you're so idiots. No, seriously. Like before we read the story, forget the whole grasp of it. Cause we're gonna read this in the car. We need the details. But like, why would you be so dumb? Your husband, your man, your boyfriend, right? And in this case, it's her boyfriend, but I'm just saying in general, like your husband, your man, your boo thing, yo sugar daddy, whoever wins 30 mil and you gonna kill him? And she's even more dumb, right? Like, I get it. Okay. I like not to say that these thought processes are correct, right? That's why I'm like kind of stumbling on my words a little bit. But let's say a woman who is married to a man and that man wins 30 mil, I can understand how greed can like leap into her heart and make her decide that she wants to off the husband so that she can have all that money and inherit all that money for herself. My thing is, why are you poisoning your boyfriend? Your boyfriend. Excuse me? But you know what? The world just keep worlds in. So let's see what the neighborhood talk had to say. Neighbors, a woman down in North Dakota is facing murder charges for allegedly poisoning her boyfriend shortly after he got a $30 million inheritance. He was allegedly planning on leaving her. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Excuse me. I understand now why. I can understand her motive. You see, that's why you got to get into the details, okay? So, according to Fox 59, police arrested Inya T. Inya Thea Kenora, 47, Monday in connection to the death of Stephen Edward Riley Jr., 51. Police said Inya's old ass had financial motives to off Stephen. I didn't think the police was going to cuss. I'm sorry. But prosecutors claim that Inya allegedly poisoned her little boyfriend with antifreeze because she thought her little ass was going to receive part of the 30 million inheritance Riley was set to receive. Okay, so that's just the neighborhood talk, like having fun with the way they're writing the write up. I was like, huh? But let's continue. On September the 3rd, Edward had planned to meet a lawyer at an airport to finalize the transaction. According to the affidavit, Ian and many of the man's friends accompanied him to the airport. But friends began to notice his health rapidly decline and him acting as though he were drunk despite not drinking any alcohol, the document said. He also experienced stomach pain and began having trouble walking. His friends wanted to take Steven to the hospital to get checked by and went to get checked by by Ian was certain he was having a stroke and simply needed to go home and rest. Okay, no, but Ian was certain that he was just having a stroke but needed to go rest. Excuse me? Like his friends need to be investigated. Like not really investigated, but like how like illiterate. Like if I believe that my man is having a stroke, why wouldn't I take him to the hospital? Even if it's a minor one. But anyway, let me continue. A friend came to visit him the next day, but Ian said he was at a clinic, which which he wasn't. Police were called to the house later on that day for a report of an unconscious male. Stephen was flown to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. A friend told the coroner that Ian had made comments about poisoning her boyfriend with antifreeze. The autopsy test confirmed with he died being poisoned. Police questioned Ian about Stephen's cause of death, and she denied it initially, but came clean, admitting to putting antifreeze in some sweet tea he had made she had made for her boyfriend on September the 3rd. Like, seriously, in this world, if I'm one thing me I notice, people wicked. The people them wicked. Like, lady, in your old ass age, like, why would you think to do this? Like, you would think that, and this is why a lot of times people say, hey, not because you're older means you're wiser. Like, in your old ass age, you haven't grasped the emotional and mental capacity to move on from someone, to walk away. Like, I could understand if this was like a young girl, her emotions are all over the place. I could not actually couldn't understand, but I can see a younger person doing stupid shit like this. When you see old people do things like this, it makes me want to question every single inch of your life, because it's like, what have you been up to? Like, what have you gotten away with? Because this little behavior didn't just spur overnight. You know what I mean? Like, lady, you know what? This lady's 47. 47. The poor man is 51 and he won't be able to celebrate his inheritance. I hope he at least was able to pass it down to his children something, right? But you know what? Good luck. Now let's move on to this topic that I seen on Pink Wall. Now, on the topic of stupid shit of the century, um, here we have these two men being arrested via steal oxtail. The people them thief the oxtail. It says two men were arrested Wednesday after stolen packages of oxtails were found in a car during a traffic stop in Cyprus. People. We can't. No. Where the world I come to? My aunt writes, you have to understand, right? Make we look on the picture here, right? The people them where see this on YouTube. Look on the picture here. Look good. I will not even understand, but I can see the thought process of someone saying, okay, they went to the store, they are financially not in a space where they can afford anything. They have children, they have things, they have responsibilities. Them going to the store, them take a look one bag of oxtail and them leave. Right? Take a little one bag of oxtails, feed your family, and leave. Like that, I can look past. That I can forgive. My nigga, you got like 25, 30 packages of oxtails on the roof of the cop car. Where was you going with that? And knowing oxtail prices, this was gonna be a sweet little come up for him. But it's like, my dude, and you know what I think too? Sometimes these people, what they be doing, yes, they be stealing to sell it back. But like, let's say there's like a store or something, they'll sell it back to the store, to a different store. Or let's say they're having a party and they can't afford oxtails. That could be the only explanation as to like why you would steal so much freaking bags of oxtails. You know what? Mick would just move on because yeah, yeah. Okay. So Blueface and Krishan. Now I saw many different instances where Blueface and Krishan were going back at it in the media. Now we're not going to cover every single one because I got time for that. But in addition to that, I feel like their relationship is very normal but unhealthy, right? So it's like it's normal for their age and who they are to be having like these toxic battles and stuff like that. They're like in their early 20s. I was having these crazy things in my early 20s as well. However, I feel like with growing up, I've realized that hey, this way of showing up in a relationship is very, very unhealthy. So I don't want to continue that cycle. So what I will do is take certain pieces of what's going on between Krishan and Blueface, and then we'll like kind of discuss it. So this is what Blueface had to say, complaining about being a single parent but wanting another kid with the alleged same person as your first child has to be a sign of mental illness. And honestly, like Blueface, it's like this should be like a reality check to Blueface. I remember, and this is just coming from my own life, guys. This is not me projecting onto them, but just remembering experiencing what I've experienced in my past relationships. It's like the guy will literally tell you in bold, in your face, hey, I don't love you. I don't want you. You are crazy. You are crazy for wanting me when I don't want you. Like it's sickening. And then it's like what they would do is they'll say something really, really mean and then do something like really, really nice to like get back in your good graces and then do something like really, really mean again. So I can understand like Krishan being confused. Like, one minute you're mean to me, but the next minute you're like with me chilling and we're like having a good time. The next minute you're talking really, really bad about me, but then the other second you're like gifting me certain things and telling me all these amazing things. What my recommendation to women growing up or just women in general would general like what it would be is that um if he can't be consistent in the way that he treats you in terms of the positive traits, then I don't think it is for us. But again, that's just my experience because I've experienced the toxic up and down. One minute you treat me bad, one minute you treat me good. And then I've also experienced it like a situation where it's been consistent, where it's like I consistently care for you, I consistently treat you well, I consistently show up for you. And I think as women, especially like when we're like young and we're in like our late teens, early 20s, we can become bored with that consistency because we want to have an argument here. We want to have those fiery moments in the relationship that will like ignite the spark. However, I feel like as you mature, you realize that all you really need is someone to consistently love you and consistently show up for you. So I just feel like Krishan and Blueface are just going through the regular shebang that we go through as we grow up, right? When we're in our late teens, 20s, we have that toxic relationship, we learn our lesson and we move on. So um Krishan hasn't quite like like fully learned yet. I feel like she is on her journey to learning. But with that being said, I would like Krishan to read this and sit with this and listen to what he said, right? But anyway, off of Krishan, off of Blueface. Now, this Roma singer person, I don't even know how like she kind of showed up on the timeline, but here she is, right? And the reason why I wanted to discuss her was because I guess she's like out here using the N word. And I'm like, mhm. I hope we aren't like giving people taps on the wrist for this kind of behavior. But let me get into the specifics and understand it most, right? I'm understanding some more. So, Roma singer fired from the real estate job at Douglas Elliman amid news she used the N word and said most Black people don't have jobs. It says the Real Housewives of New York City star Romer Singer has been axed from her job at Douglas Elliman. Sources exclusively tell Page Six. So yes, I like this. I like the fact that she is being held accountable for what she is saying, right? I feel like people like I feel like people don't think before they speak. And back to what Queen Latifah had said in the beginning of our show. If you were here for that, she referred to the Malcolm X quote that, hey, the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. And I feel like the most disrespected community in America is the African American community. And with that being said, we have to set boundaries and allow for consequences when they're crossed. So when I see the boundary being set that, hey, hands off, don't be calling nobody no n-word and all of that. So the boundary is set, and then when you cross that boundary, you're losing your job, you're losing your reputation, you're losing everything. You're now being held accountable. Now, what this teaches other communities is, hey, we're not playing. Don't disrespect us. And it also allows us to gain power and confidence in ourselves as a community. So I enjoy when things like this happen, when people are able to, you know, get a little dose of their medicine. Um, all right. So moment of truth, or let's just say, let me prepare you for this one. For those of you who Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London fans and all of that, let me just prepare you guys in advance. I'm going to speak authentically on how I feel. Now, I am more than welcome to, have a conversation with you in the comment section about this. However, my thoughts are mine, right? So, according to the Neighborhood Talk, mother of Nipsey Hussle's daughter loses guardianship bid to Nipsey's family. Will have no access to daughter's 5 million inheritance. So, I looked at this and I didn't I didn't get into the full write up, but just looking at this, to me, I don't like it. Yeah, 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 I know. Mm-mm. I know. Nipsey, Lauren. I get it. I love me some Lauren London. ATL a smash. Love Lauren London. And I've gained love for Nipsey Hussle because of my love for Lauren London. Maybe not the biggest Nipsey Hussle fan, but definitely can say I love him because Lauren London loves him, right? Now, not because I love you. I feel like all the decisions that you make are the correct one. I feel like if a man goes and has a child here, then has a child here, and is no longer with us, I feel like if both children are not of age, both parents should receive a good amount of money to take care of the child if those funds have already been allocated, right? That's just my quick little opinion on that. Um Despite how you feel about this person, how you feel about that. Like but you know what? Let me read the full write up and see if my opinion changes. But just looking at it, I feel like, hey, both parties should receive funds that were allocated. It shouldn't be one party receive funds, right? The other party holds on to the funds, right? And they're going to say, "Oh, well, we're holding on to the funds until um the child turns 18." Okay, understandable, right? However, what if the mom needs the help and the assistance now when the child is young, going to school, doing certain things? And why do we give it to this mom but not that mom, right? If we are saying, okay, hey, you know what, we're not going to give the children any money until they're 18, 21, make it fair across the board. None of the children should get any funds at that point, right? But let's look into it and see if I can get some more details. So according to the neighborhood talk neighbors, according to the court documents, Nipsey Hussle's family was awarded the power to manage his daughter Imani's seven-figure inheritance after they were granted guardianship of the child instead of her mom. Okay, so see, opinion definitely changes. If the family is the one who has guardianship of the child, then I feel like the money should definitely stay with the family. If the child is with the family, the money should definitely stay with the family. How I was thinking it was, hey, the child was over here with the mom just being abandoned and neglected and not receiving the financial assistance that she needs to raise her child. However, if you're not in this child's life, then yes. I guess that's the battle there, right? Who gets the child? Because whoever gets the child gets the money, which even that in itself, I don't know. But let me continue. The 5 million slated to be distributed to the child will be controlled by Nipsey's brother Sam, his sister Samantha, and mother Angelique. We previously reported that Imani's mother, Tanisha Foster, was fighting to have guardianship of her and Nipsey's daughter. The money being distributed to Imani will have to come from her Uncle Sam and his family. Tanisha has no ties to the money. Tanisha tried to fight the guardianship that she allowed Nipsey's family to have over her daughter after Nipsey died. She claims she only agreed to it because her financial limitations. Okay, so how I'm getting this story is when Nipsey Hussle was alive, she wasn't able to financially provide for the child. Nipsey Hussle had his family. She gives custody of her child to Nipsey Hussle and his family. Now, of course, I can understand the shift in opinion when this man now passes away, wanting to have your child back, right? And then here comes this conflict of, hey, whoever has the child gets the money. Yeah, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. All I can say as it relates to this is wherever this young lady, this baby girl gets raised, I just hope she has the awesome experience that I know her father would have provided her with had he been here, right? So if that's with the mom or that's with the family, whomever, I just want her to grow up and receive the awesomeness that I knew Nipsey would have wanted to provide to his daughter. Now, let's move on. Now, was when y'all was scrolling on Beyonce and Obama's internet, did y'all come across this cup of noodles thing where the cup of noodle is now allowing you to to microwave it? So according to the neighborhood talk, y'all here for it? Cup noodles will finally be microwavable for the first time in 50 years, thanks to new cup design. I want to say, newsflash to cup of noodles, whoever, manufacturing company, CEO, hey, let me whisper something in your ear real quick. We been microwaving these bad boys. Oh, let me tell you, some of us, we're lazy. We just pour the water in the cup of noodles, cover it, put something on it, and we put it in there for a minute, 2 minutes, sometimes even three. All right. Now, there's some of us who enjoy, boiling the water on the stove, throwing it in the cup of noodle packet, in the cup of noodle cup, covering it, and then just putting it in the microwave for maybe like a 30 seconds to a minute. So we've been doing this for some time now. So I guess thanks for the approval. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Now, I really do find myself after the other day watching Chris Jenner express remorse and regret for leaving Robert Kardashian because she thought things were green on the other side when indeed it wasn't. So I am like, hey, we can chit chat a little bit more about the Kardashians. Now, um I hope y'all can understand how North literally pulled me out my seat with this one. Let's listen to this exchange between Kim Kardashian and her daughter Northwest. Okay.
Can you eat it like that? Yeah. You want some? No, thanks. You're just going to eat an onion like an apple. This is what she does, people. She eats veggies
Oh
like apples.
no, this is
What do you
not
think
it.
about the work your mom does? What does she do?
Oh, there it goes. 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 Okay, 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 okay. No, so it's two different clips, right? We got two different things going on in this one clip, and I'm going to actually play this again for you guys. Now, one thing we have going on here is the weird addictions is given weird addictions where we have Northwest eating a raw freaking onion with the skin on it. Baby, we didn't even peel the onion. We didn't saute it. We didn't mix it into something. Like, she's just eating the onion, right? And then you have the other issue, the one that I was mainly focused on, where the person in the background says, "How do you feel about what your mom does for a living?" North is looking like, "What the hell does my mom do for a living?" Um, yeah, that's what gagged me. So let's listen to it again without my interruption.
Can you eat it like that? Yeah. You want some? No, thanks. You're just going to eat an onion like an apple. This is what she does, people. She eats veggies like apples. What do you think about the work your mom does? What does she do?
Ah, like when I say it be your own kids, it be your own kids. Kids do not tell any lies. Like, especially when they're raised in an environment where they're comfortable to express their truth. Oh, oh, I feel like we create liars when we penalize kids for expressing their truth. So now they have to, hide and do all of that stuff. But look, it be your own kids. That's all I'm gonna say. It really do be your own flipping children. But anyway, let us move on. As we're on the topics of the Kardashians, Kourtney Kardashian asked her 11-year-old daughter Penelope if she was okay with Tristan Thompson being around after telling her she's so triggered by him. So let's listen.
Tristan's with them. Is that okay? Okay. I feel like she gets it from me. I told her like the first day of school, I was like so triggered by him. I don't know why. And then I was like, right, I know why. But I was like, I feel like we all like brush it off and are fine. And then I was just like so triggered. And I was like, I just can't do it anymore. Like, I just can't. Tristan has made horrible decisions and choices, with my sister. There's times when I'm so triggered by him, I can't be around him. And then there's times when I just let it go because we just want harmony. And, he's the father of my niece and nephew.
I'm really proud of myself for where me and Tristan are and how I am able to allow him to be the father he wants to be. But where I am at with Tristan has nothing to do with what I expect my family members to do. If Penelope has her feelings about Tristan, rightfully so. And good for you, girl. I want Penelope to have these feelings and I don't want to talk her out of them because I don't want this behavior to be something that I'm validating or I'm justifying. I want her to know that how she's feeling is the right way to feel. We should not accept someone treating us like this.
Tristan's with them. Is that okay?
Okay. Um that like for me raises like the question as to is there like a wrong versus right way to raise a child, right? Because again, come from a very 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 different community from the Kardashians, of course. And being from that community, we have the thought process of, hey, children are children and we leave them out of grown folks business, right? And it's the idea that, hey, you're going to always have to respect your elders. You're always going to have to respect those who come before you, those who are above you, whether your mom and dad gets along with them or not. You being a child will always have respect, right? And that's just something that they teach and taught me while growing up. Like, you'll have respect even if mommy just argued with sister Rose down the road and they get into a fight. The next morning when you're walking to school, if you see sister Rose, you better say good morning. Like, you better speak up, like, and don't disrespect her, right? So that's where I'm raised. Now, seeing the Kardashians and the way in which they want their their children to be raised, and understanding that, hey, there are certain things that happen and it's okay to express negative emotions towards that. I feel like I like that in a little way because it teaches your child from a young age that, hey, their emotions are valid and it's okay to have negative emotions and express that towards someone who you feel crosses your boundaries or has disrespected you. So I kind of understand that aspect of it, but I also like believe wholeheartedly that children are children and should stay in a child's place. I don't feel like children should be burdened with the responsibility of understanding what parents are going through emotionally, mentally, financially, because sometimes we as adults don't even understand it. I just feel like I want to allow you to be a child and be in a bubble. Like, even if your dad is like the biggest piece of a junk to me as an individual, if he is an awesome father, I will shield you from the aspect that he's a trash, right? To me, because I feel like men could be like really bad husbands but really good parents, right? So why am I going to ruin my child's experience and my child's bond with her father because I don't like something that he may have done, right? It's I feel like it's a lot of moving pieces going on, but you know what? This boils down to a to each his own kind of thing where, hey, we are all people and we all see things differently, and that's why we all exist in the world differently, right? That's why we're constantly all debating, because we're all raised differently, right? So let's move the hell on. So Natalie Nunn is out here Natalie Nunning like she always does. So according to Neighborhood Talk, not Natalie Nunn bet her husband to receive head if the Warriors won. She won the bet. So let's listen and look at this clip.
We're live. We're live. And I need some head tonight. So that's what's going on here. The bet is on the line. The bet is 38 seconds. Oh my God, Warriors. This is not a fucking game. Let's go, Warriors. Oh my God, do something, stop, please. Yeah! I need some head tonight. Let's go, Warriors! Fuck! 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 Let's go, Warriors! Let's go, Warriors! Oh my God, let's go, Warriors! Come on!
Okay, so enough of watching Natalie Nunn. If it's one thing I'm gonna say about Natalie Nunn, yes, she's done Bad Girls Club. Yes, she's doing baddies. Yes, 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 all these things. But we can always like look at, we like, people are multifaceted people, right? And we like to judge people for who they are. But if we can like find like good things in people, like I think we'll be better off. Like if we look at Natalie Nunn, if it's one thing Natalie has done, Natalie has kept herself a man. Bad Girls Club, baddies, whatever. She kept herself a husband. Natalie was one of the bad girls that got married. And she didn't marry no old body. Natalie's husband is ka-ching ka-ching, okay? Natalie cashed in real good with him in terms of he looks amazing. I think he's like he plays sports or something. I'm not quite sure of the sport or whatever. I've never been interested enough to dig into Natalie Nunn's husband's past or his life. However, like Natalie Nunn, like she knows how to keep a man. So I guess I'm going to the basketball game and we're going to be making bets about who's doing what. Cause it looks like it works. Okay. Now I just really wanted to just, applaud Natalie Nunn for, being creative in her marriage and not being boring. I feel like sometimes when you are in a long-term relationship, things can grow old. So Natalie Nunn keeping it spicy. I feel like, girls, are you taking notes? All right. So for those of you who know, but for those of you who don't, let's discuss Kai Sanat. I can never say this man's name correctly. Hopefully one day, like one of you guys will like correct me in the comments. Until then, I'm going to battle between the two, right? But Kai Sanat recently did this stream where he's live streaming for a couple days in an environment that is set up like a prison. He has invited all these different people to show up. Krishan has showed up. Offset did cancel last minute on the on doing the live stream, but you see all these different people and they are like making satire like in regards to some of the things that occur in prison and stuff like that, with dropping the soap and all these different things. But for the most part, I haven't really been hearing much negative feedback about the live prison stream until I read what Natalie Turner had to say. And what Natalie Turner had to say was Kai Cenat is a sorry excuse for a black man. And so is everybody entertained by his mockery of enslavement and forced servitude. He is really pretending to be in bondage while also mocking the sexual trauma endured in prison. Just sick. People like him are a plague. We're in such a sensitive time where so many are fighting to be free, and you, a streamer with millions of followers, decide to promote bondage. Um, I just feel as though Natalie Turner is, you're right. And you know what you're actually right about? This line here where you say we're in such a sensitive time. And I want you to highlight the word sensitive. We're in a time where everything that is done, it triggers someone, it makes someone feel as though okay, well, hey, we're making fun of trauma, you're this, you're that, you're all bad. So let's address, right? So what Natalie Turner said about K Sanat Kai Sanat to me, basically, first of all, Kai, I don't view Kai as a man. I feel like Kai is a young guy. I don't feel like Kai is of age to the point where you can say, oh, well, he's fully matured. Like Kai is battling between kid man. Like I feel like that's where Kai is at. It's not like he's some gray back man that's in his 50s doing this, right? This is a streamer. Like, he's young. Um, and I get it. She may not feel like she wants to excuse the behavior because he's young, but let's address the behavior, right? Now, when can we allow for entertainment to just be entertainment without taking offense to every little thing, right? I feel like you watch movies all the time, you're entertained, you move on. So, why, when it comes to comedians, it comes to YouTubers, it comes to streamers doing the entertaining, there's always these negative ass drawbacks. Like, do you know how many prison shows, prison movies have been invented, and how many various approaches that they've taken on these prison docs? Now he's taken a satire approach to it. Maybe doing this way can like expose his audience to being like, hey, you know what? This jail shit is really a fucking joke. Like, like I don't know, but I just feel like not everything we have to criticize, not everything we have to treat so sensitively. And of course, Natalie has her opinion. I'm going to respect her opinion. However, I do also believe that the Kai Sanat stream is just another form of entertainment. And whenever people get up on their own platforms, set up their own shit without a corporation, without all these different white people having their hands in the pockets of whatever they're creating, people have a negative say about it. Like, we're literally like, and I'm gonna get into this if we're able to address these topics either today or tomorrow, but about how like we allow like Hollywood to do and create and be, but when someone is just sitting in the corner of their room doing the exact same thing and sometimes even better, we critique that. Like, why? But anyway, I'm going to move on. Yes, I understand her message. Yes, I understand that there is a bigger picture. Yes, I get it. Hashtag prison reform, hashtag enslavement, hashtag forced servitude. I understand the severity of men being in prison. I understand that the population, and I understand all of it with the black population in prison and how black men are targeted. I understand everything. I understand the rape culture in the our culture in prison. I understand all of it. However, can people just exist? Right? Can people just exist? Now, let's move on to SZA dancing. And I came across this, and honestly, this is like the second time I'm like seeing SZA really throw down on the stage, and I'm actually liking it. So I just kind of wanted to show it to you guys. I just wanted to show it to you guys as well. All right, I'm gonna pause the song because I don't want to get copyright. Get hit for copyrights. But yeah, she's basically dancing to the song with I think it's Sexy Red and Drake. But anyway, this is SZA looking amazing, performing, doing her thing. And this is just a SZA celebration post, right? Now let's move on to this thing here. And it says, what's a red flag about yourself? I mean, do we ever like really explore this? Like, what is a red flag about you? We like to point the finger at other people and be like, oh my god, this person is so this person is so that. Like, what is your red flag? I want you to share in the comment section, if you're watching this on YouTube, what your red flag is. Now let me see some of them in the comments. This person says, I like you, I lock you in too fast. The next person says, I think everybody is lying. The next person says, I asked you to do something for me and you got 2 seconds before I do it myself. Another person says, I be offering people food, I'm eating, but hope they they be saying no. What is one uh red flag about me? While you think you're having regular conversation with me, I don't do this anymore. I can say I don't do this anymore because I realize how mentally taxing it is to have a mental conversation with yourself while you're having another conversation with someone else. But I am always mentally assessing every single word that comes out of your mouth, your body language, everything. Are you telling me the truth? Um, are you being honest? Are you being genuine? Are you even interested in this conversation? Are you bullshitting? Are you like, I have so much questions going through my mind. So I'm like vetting you in my mind as we're having a conversation. I'm like, hey, yeah. Blah. And I'm like vetting who you are. But that is something I feel like may have been like a defense mechanism for me because I don't really do it anymore. I feel like it's so taxing to try to read people, so I'm like, look, if you ain't say it, I don't care. I'm not about to sit here and go into overdrive and try to understand your microaggressions or your micro movements. Absolutely not. What a waste of time. But anyway, let's move on. And don't forget to share yours because I was just really vulnerable, okay? So share yours in the comment section if you heard this. Now, um, I came across this post as well, and Jasmine said, ladies, you 25 minutes away from the house, and your best friend just pulled up and said, I'm outside. Your man is in the house. Do she wait for the car, or can she go into the house and wait for you there? No, does she wait in the car? Sorry. Does she wait in her car, or does she go in the house? If you don't take your ass inside that house, I just feel like um you can have boundaries as it relates to your friendships and your romantic partnerships, but I feel like at some points we're just being tedious and insecure. So I feel like, hey, like, just go inside, right? But maybe someone thinks something different. Share your thoughts and comments. Okay, so update on this Keefe D case, where he's being charged for the murder of Tupac. According to Neighborhood Talk, Keefe D reportedly can't afford a lawyer, will use a public defender in the Tupac murder case. Um, Good luck to this man. Good luck. I I honestly don't know what direction I see this situation going in. Because he's already calling names, right? He's already called Diddy's name. He's already done that. So it's like, you know what? Let's see. Because now you can tell he's coming from a space of desperation because he doesn't have any money to even get a real lawyer. So he has a public defender who may convince him to do certain things, you know? But good luck to him, and we'll continue to stay up to date on these cases. Now, Sheni Yang, for all my Shen Yangs out there, for my Jamaicans out here, Shensia is doing a little freestyle thing, a little, so it says Shensia never misses when it comes to freestyles. And again, for copyright purposes, I'm not going to play the entire thing, but make we listen a little bit to Shensian Iwashafase and tell me if the one year hits are not. So I'm not gonna play anymore again for copyright purposes. And guys, if you're like watching the replay of this and you weren't able to hear, like, if you weren't able to hear parts of her rap, or you feel like a piece of the podcast was like cut out or something, it's just because I got hit for copyright and I had to take it out of the video. On the audio podcast you'll be able to hear everything, but on YouTube, if you like miss a piece of the show, or you feel like, hey, I'm not hearing this or something like that, it's because I had to either mute or clip a part of the podcast to allow it to be on YouTube's platform without a copyright strike. Now, what are my thoughts on Shensia? Shensia has been taking this new direction as it relates to her music. And I feel like this new direction that she has been taking as it relates to her music, not that it hasn't garnered her much success, but I do think with all new ventures you have to kind of allow for people to shift with you and progress and move along with you, right? Because remember, Shensia was introduced to us as a Jamaican artist when she came out with Ludi and all of that, and we fell in love with her Jamaican sound, right? So now having her enter into the hip hop world, and especially rap, right, where she's singing but she's also rapping, but then she's also incorporating the Jamaican style and the Jamaican flavor, I just don't know how well this is going to age. And I feel like Shensia and Spice are two of Jamaica's most impactful artists right now, especially as it relates to females. So whatever they do, it's like it will shift the culture, because I do find that as of seeing Shensia rap a lot more and try to kind of rap but on like a patois, but still keep it Jamaican, I feel like I've seen an incline in Jamaican rappers, right? People in Jamaica rapping in patois. Now, my thing is, if everyone, right, decides that they want to shift to this new Jamaican rap thing that we have going on with Shensia, then where does the real authentic reggae dance salt? Who's going to stick by and do those? And don't get me wrong, what have little good Jamaican song, Amad We Amado. Like they have some really, really good Jamaican dance hall songs as well. So I'm not gonna knock it. I'm just saying Shensia is taking a real different path as it relates to her career, and I hope like hell she can be successful with it, right? It would be nice to see her as a Jamaican rapper, singer, whatever, make it big in the hip hop industry. However, for all those people who are coming behind her, my hope is that they don't neglect real authentic Jamaican dance hall, real authentic reggae, because real authentic Jamaican dance hall and real authentic reggae has had the industry, the world on lock for a very long time. So to neglect that that sound would be a real disservice to the Jamaican culture. But you know what? We'll see how everything unfolds. Let's move it on. So here is Mr. Dwight Howard. I'm gonna take a sip of water. My throat was like, ugh. But here is Mr. Dwight Howard. Now, his he is dressed as somebody. Now, I'm not quite sure what the hell Dwight Howard is dressed as for Halloween, but this here is his Halloween costume. Now, for those of you who watching this on YouTube, comment down below. Tell me what Dwight Howard's Halloween costume is. Are you liking it? How are you feeling about it? The reason why I personally included the Halloween costume or just Dwight Howard on a whole was because I love the fact that he is just gracefully living his life even after all these different rumors. Like, I really, really love this for Dwight Howard. And his caption says, why they mad, because God chose me. So here it is, Dwight Howard still having fun, not letting societal influences fuck up his mental health or fuck up what he got going on. So kudos to you, Dwight Howard. Okay, so the Shade Room posted this, and they're always for posting some comedic stuff. So let's listen to what Nana had to say.
Yes.
When?
Before you were born.
And what did you go to jail for? What was your crime? What crime did you commit?
What did I go for?
Yeah, why was you in jail? Why they lock you up? What did
I went to visit somebody.
Who?
A friend of mine.
So you've never been to jail yourself though, right?
That was me.
What? What are you talking about?
I went to jail
Uh-huh.
to visit my friend.
Mm-hmm. But have you ever had handcuffs put on you?
Not by police officers.
OMG. I swear, on the TikTokers and Instagrammers and Facebookers, why on love bother the old people them? Only need to stop trouble on no grandmother and on the mother for do them like a TikTok thing here. Cause when I'm gonna end up find out some things what on nothing know about. But here Granny is like, what are you talking about? Prison? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, went to jail once to go visit a friend. What are you talking about? And then she said, "Oh, you haven't had handcuffs on you? Not by no damn police officer." But Granny didn't deny them handcuffs. Look, Granny done lived her life. Okay, shout out to her. That was just a funny moment that I really wanted to like kind of talk about. Now, according to its on site, Cat Williams says giving reparations to black people is the only way for society to move past racism. I I have multiple thoughts on this here. I feel like comedy on a whole. Um Remember earlier we were talking about how we've become like sensitive as a community, so it's like you can't even like joke on certain things anymore. Kai Sanat try to joke on the prison stuff and he's getting flack for it. And you see many times even Dave Chappelle, he runs his jokes and stuff like that, does his stand-ups, things that people have done for such a long time, and they're being penalized for it, right? So imagine living in a world where you're 50, 60, in your late 40s, and you literally made a career out of just having fun and just kicking it and telling jokes to your fans, just to now realize that you're now being canceled for that very thing. You're now being penalized for that very thing. Well, the message that sends to comedians is that you have to be very, very particular about the topics that you talk about. And with that being said, it limits the comedian and their craft and what they can talk about, which is why I feel like Cat Williams continue to make the racism jokes. I feel like one time, two time, three time, but it's like I feel like Cat Williams can't even branch off because the way society is so sticky and icky and everybody's like walking on eggshells that you really can't even be versatile and do other things and venture off. So I do feel like I like just like kind of reading the headline and like I did get a little glimpse of it. I just feel like Cat Williams and the comedians, they need more topics to discuss. But let's see, was this a funny Cat Williams joke or was it like tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes? Let's listen and we'll judge.
Bring up racial issues because we have a chance now. We only months away from 2024. We could do some shit that's never been done in history, and it will be easy. We could get rid of racism once and for all as a country, just because we bigger than that. And we don't need to be dealing with that shit in 2024. We can do it now. White people, we gonna need y'all. Look at white people. What? Yeah, so I don't talk about political shit because sometimes my viewpoints change as I get more information. This is one of those situations. I didn't used to believe in this, but now I do. White people, I want you to hear it from me in front of black people. And I in no way speak for all black people, but I do speak for all niggas. And you're not supposed to know the difference. So, okay, so here it is. Um, White people, it's now time for black people to get paid reparations for everything that black people have been through in this country. Let's pay those reparations. Look at white people. What? Okay, white people, I know you're wondering, why now? Why, Cap? Why now? Why? Why? Well, here's the thing, white people, and I'm being honest with you. As black people, we've never said this in history, but it's time for us to get reparations. Black people, it's our money, and when do we need it? You see that, white people? We didn't even rehearse that. That's how badly black people need this money. Like, every one of us needs this. And white people, you need it too. You need it too. Aren't you ready to get this racism shit past us? Like, no white person in here has ever had a slave a day in your life. Don't you want to get this the fuck off of you? Pay those motherfucking reparations. Listen here, white people. We just gave $300 billion to Ukraine. Bring up racial issues.
Right. So let's discuss. He did squeeze his punchline in there, which I actually like his play on that because the fans actually was his punchline. When do we need it? Now, right? I want my money. When do I want it? Now. So we kind of all remember that as black people, I think from like the commercial and stuff. Um JG Wentworth, if I'm remembering correctly. Hey guys, hey JG Wentworth, whatever the hell you guys are. But I hope that was them if I remember if my memory serves me correctly. So he did get his punchline in, which means thumbs up to Cat Williams for that. He does not receive tomatoes today. Now let's talk about the exact topic because I feel like with jokes there can also be some underlying truth to it. Or sometimes we see tumultuous situations and we choose to make fun of it because it's like where I come from, we say, yeah, for take bad things and turn it in a joke. Like if you're experiencing some bad shit in life, it's better you turn it into a joke and just laugh at that shit instead of like being like drawn down by it, right? So we have that aspect of it. Now, Kevin, I'm sorry, Kevin. Woo, Kevin Hart. No. Kevin Hart is my favorite, but we're talking Cat Williams. Now, Cat Williams discussed racism and he's saying, hey, look, we need some form of reparations because look at how much money Ukraine got. And I think this is a theme as well that I've been seeing recently where Americans are calling out America for helping out Ukraine, for helping out Israel, for helping out like a lot of different countries, but not really doing what needs to be done on their own soil. Now, as for me, I don't like I can't be swayed or pulled in one direction because I myself am an immigrant. I started from the bottom and I came here, right? And because of America allow me the opportunity to be here, I was able to make something better of myself, right? So we do see those success stories. Now I get it, like people in America, now that I'm in America, I'm like, wait, like they probably should do some more for the people who are here, you know what I mean? However, if we do compare ourselves to other countries, which is probably not good to compare ourselves, but if we decide to compare ourselves as Americans to people in other countries, I do think we are doing we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Now, do I think we'll ever receive reparations as the African American community? Look, if we are, just sign me the hell up. I think we've talked about it for a long time. We've talked about reparations. We've talked about it. I feel like it sounds good in theory, but until we put it into practice, we're just babbling, right? So I do like Cat Williams punchline there. And I do think Cat Williams like kept with each comedian, there is an art to the way in which they do things. Kevin Hart's the art to way he does things is he talks about his own stuff. He talks about his family, talk about his own experience, and he makes fun of himself. Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle has this as well, where they take controversial political ideals, make fun of it while bringing forth the bluntest truth. Right, so they'll take a topic and they'll make fun of it, but then after it's said and done, it'll be like, oh no, that's really true what he said, even though he was joking the whole time. You have it in your mind, right? So I do feel like that is also a definite sure way to do your thing as a comedian. I would just like to see Cat Williams venture off a little bit more, right? It's like if you sit down and you watch the movie, you watch it over and over and over, it's like, oh, So I just feel like I want to see Cat Williams venture off a little bit more in terms of the topics that he discussed. But again, neither here nor there, because Cat Williams, he does his thing. Now let's move the hell on. Speaking of Kevin Hart, Rap CTV, according to Rap CTV, Kevin Hart tells the story of how him and his mom almost got robbed in Philly. You see what I mean? Kevin Hart jokes about himself and his own experiences. Not saying that this is a joke, but I'm just saying he tells his own. That's how he does his thing. But let's listen. No, not let's listen. Let me read this real quick. Kevin Hart telling Wallow and Gilly the story of how him and his mom got robbed is too funny. Okay, yes, take it back. Here he is joking about himself, like I said he does. Let's now actually listen.
I remember my mom got robbed.
You and your mom?
Me and my mom got robbed.
Damn.
You want to hear the crazy part? Coming from the laundromat. We had a
bunch of laundry. Wait, right there off, bro.
Nigga, you
Colorado
yes.
Street?
Listen, laundromat right there. We got the shopping cart. I'm talking folded clothes, right? My mom got the cart. I got my book bag. I used to go to the laundromat, do the homework. My mom used to carry this little fanny pack, orange fanny pack. Dude came out. He said, "Get that shit up, bitch." My mom was like, "No."
What?
Swear to God. He said, "You think I'm fucking playing with you? Get that shit up." My mom was like, "It's nothing in it." No. I'm just standing there. I'm looking. I don't even know what to do. I'm shocked that I'm looking at a gun. He snatched it off. He go through it. My mom had a bunch of tokens in there, right? God get mad. He throw it at my mom. You broke bitch. Call my mom a broke bitch. Threw the fanny pack at her. I remember I got...
What?
Yeah, I told you it was nothing in it. Picked it back up. Come on, Kevin, and act like nothing happened. I was like,
yeah, but the black woman was different.
We
though.
Almost died. In my mind, it was going down. Laundromat, and then she made me push the cart the rest of the way. I never walked up that street again for the rest of my life. Listen, I took the longest way to get to the laundromat. What once was a 5-minute walk took me 30 minutes. I went
Broad Street, all across Broad Street.
I stayed in the public eye. I said, I ain't going down that street. I know what happened down there.
He ran up on his mom. Get it. He was like, just give it up, mom. He was like, give it up, mom. He was supposed to be.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Mom? Listen. You're the tokens, Mom. But listen, he really knew it wasn't nothing in there. He's like, it's nothing in there, Mom.
Yeah, I told you.
Okay, so like I see it's crazy. That's how you know I was speaking facts. Here he goes again joking about this experience with his mom. And I mean, Kevin Hart is just who Kevin Hart is. He's funny as hell, and he's been in the game for some time now, and he still, has that authenticity to him. Like, do y'all remember Miss Green? Like, for those of you who remember Miss Green, just say like type Miss Green in YouTube. Like, who remembers Miss Green? Long titty, have no nipple ass. She has no nipples. Like Kevin. Okay, this right here was a post of Little Uzi Vert, and this is a very different look for Little Uzi. He has waves, and his hairline is looking nice. Very different from the dreads that he normally rock. So I don't know. It's given like, okay, JT, I could have seen what you saw in him, but this is different. This is definitely different for Little Uzi. But let's move on to Shakana. So basically, Shakana told T.S. Madison she'd let her have sex with her. Now, for those of you who don't know, or listen to the podcast, or you just don't know in general, T.S. Madison is a trans woman. So let's listen to what Shakana had to say.
Like me, I like to get fucked by a man because I don't want to bump cats.
But you could, because that it's a taboo thing. If you did want to bump cats, that you can get a woman could strap on and tear you up.
I'll let you fuck me.
Well, I don't need a strap on to do that.
That's what I'm trying to say, because I don't want to feel no strap. I want to feel the real meat. So me and girls don't get along because they don't have the real meat.
I just feel like that I've been propositioned by my sister to tear her sugar walls up. Now I'm Asian now. I'm getting older, so this means I'm really am not opposed to trying new things.
You ain't?
No,
well, let's go in on the baby.
You know what our baby would look like if we had a baby together.
Yeah, the baby be cute. Which one does?
Sister, don't play with me, girl.
Don't you play with me? That'll be big.
Girl, I don't think I need a Viagra no more.
We'll tear the nation up though. They wouldn't know what the fuck to do with us.
You bitch.
The baby got two mamas.
Well, let's talk about a Viagra. Like men,
I like to get fucked by a man because
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me just put this on. What I'm doing is I'm putting on some lippity gloss because my lips feel chappity chap. All right. So, Shakana. Shakana is Shakana. Like, Shakana is always going to be Shakana. Shakana has been who Shakana is. Okay. So, if you want to have a good time, have Shakana as a bestie. Now, I have a question. Do men who transition turn back around? And that's like a real question. Okay, so I was like reading through the comments to see if anyone had anything that was like, okay, that kind of stood out to me, but the comments didn't really stand out this time. But do men like decide to, once they've transformed to a woman, decide that, hey, you know what, I made a mistake, or not even I made a mistake, but actually I've lived this way, so now let me go back to the original way and then like live that way? Like, do men actually do that? I don't feel like I ever see when trans people do that, if they ever do it. But this was just a moment between T.S. Madison and Shakana that I was like, look at these two, that I just really wanted to just share with you guys. And yeah, no biggie, no big story about this, Now, real quick, I came across this and it seemed like a collaboration post between Rashida and this gourmet Angie page. And I was like really proud of Rashida and Kirk Frost. Now, I do remember earlier this year watching Love and Hip Hop, ATL, and feeling as though they have matured past Love and Hip Hop and need to venture off into new things so they can allow, other people to kind of come on the show and, allow younger people to be on the show, right? So when I saw this, I was like, look at them. So this is called Frost Bistro. And let's watch.
ATL, check out Frost Bistro, Rashida and Kirk's restaurant. They have the lamb chop, crab claw, and grits. They have the red velvet lobster waffle, the steak and lobster. They're located in Peter Street. I highly recommend you getting some of their specialty drinks. They have the new bubblegum drink, and they have oxtail slamming salmon sandwiches. And also, I highly recommend you get in the lobster and grits with a drink tower. They also have the new breakfast menu item. Me and Rashida tried out her new fried pound cake. It was amazing. ATL, check out.
Okay, so that clip was a little bit glitchy, but I really wanted to watch it all the way through because Bistro, it seems like they're doing their thing over there with Frost Bistro because the food looks impeccable, the drinks look even better. Like there was like this 5-tier thing. So now I know if I ever go to ATL, I'm definitely going to have to stop off over at Frost Bistro. You know what I hope? I do hope that Keith Lee guy stops in and give us a review. But I feel like this girl's review is also valid. So yeah, like shout out to Kirk and Rashida. I feel like we always speak about the negative things that these celebrities do. So when they do something positive, such as open a bar or open a restaurant or venture off into different territory and are doing good at it, then I feel like we should definitely celebrate them. So shout out to this couple. Okay. So this resurfaced video shows Akademiks humbly responded to being called a bitch. In what sense? All right. So I also see a comment here by Leon that says this will always be how I see DJ Academics when he get pressed by when he got pressed by Vic Mensa. He got to shuddering and stuttering. Okay, well, let me see this clip.
How'd you feel about it? I wanted to slap you in your face, honestly. And I'm just seeing you here, so I'm like, this is a tame environment, so I would keep it to my words. But I really felt as if people exactly like you sensationalized and made a following off of clowning situations that we go through in real life. And I think, niggas ain't had no right. You specifically, like you ain't never have a right. Like whatever made you feel like you had a space to have a perspective on our people dying on a daily basis.
That's a joke to you? So when I saw Drill, and you could definitely chime in. When I saw Drill was so hyped up by everyone. I had to give a different perspective of what that was for people to realize that's not cool. And whether you agreed with it, right? And again, you're very close, you're involved in it. Chief Keef didn't like me, Dirk didn't like me. I mean, I think they grew to understand that the content was not just negative, right?
No, it was clowning. It was just negative, man.
No.
Like, come on, boy.
You don't think it was nothing constructive about it?
There was nothing constructive about it. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I really think you're a bitch because
in what sense?
Because there's a video that you put up about a person named Trey 57. making all these jokes. Oh, here's another Chirac Savage. Like, this guy's stupid. He messed with the Grim Reaper. Like, nigga, this is not a video game. That's a nigga I grew up with. I've known since I was 5 years old. And to see you come on the internet and like with this corny ass little voice and make jokes about it, like, you know, I was waiting to see you. And it's a couple people waiting to see you. I heard you say you didn't want to come to Chicago when I sat down because you clearly don't, because you really couldn't even stand outside. You get chased out the mall.
Wait, I do get love in Chicago though. Like, I mean,
out the mall, DJ Akademiks.
I mean, truth be told, there's a mixed reaction.
You know, you can't deal with that. You not.
Wait, so you act like there's no love for me in Chicago?
No,
I wish I'd have known.
And you need to.
I wouldn't have put him in that seat. I would have sat there.
No.
I'm when you talk about real niggas, man, from a real place.
How do you feel about it?
All right. So, let's talk, right? Now, first and foremost, the video that this young man is talking about, the young man with the dreads, I don't know, Vic something, I don't really remember his name, but yeah, the video that he's talking about that Akademiks gave his commentary on, I've never seen that video. Let me see if the Neighborhood Talk had posted it. No, the Neighborhood Talk only posted this video. All right, so this is what we're working with. Now, I guess the point of posting this video was to say, hey, DJ Akademiks, DJ Akademiks only responds to females but not males when he's being addressed and called a bitch, because when he was called a bitch by a guy, he responded with respect and was like, oh, in what sense? Now let's digest, right? This was DJ Akademiks in the beginning, or not even in the beginning, I don't know what point of his career, but based on the video, you can tell that this was younger DJ Akademiks, right? Younger DJ Akademiks isn't going to react the same way as experienced DJ Akademiks. Can this guy now sit down on a podcast with DJ Akademiks and call him flat out a bitch? I don't know. I don't really see that happening. So let's just put that out there. One. Two, right? I want to focus on what this man says, right? And he's basically telling DJ Akademiks that he cannot create a platform where he chooses to give his opinion on certain things. And I'm like, so DJ Akademiks, a black man, can't sit down in a corner of his room and build his studio, deck his shit out, and do the same thing that these reporters in Hollywood and all these other people are doing, literally talking about y'all's lives. But when a small time person does it, oh, who do you think you are to be able to do that, right? And I feel like I really don't appreciate commentary of such of like that, because I feel like if I were to say, and I don't know if this guy's a rapper or something, but if I was to walk up to, let's say, someone in the industry and be like, why do you have the audacity to think that we're going to listen to your whack ass raps? Why do you have the audacity to think that you can become successful? Why do you have the audacity to think that you can entertain us? Why do you have the audacity to think that you can go on the stage and sell out shows? Why do you have the who do you think you are to be able to do that? How do I sound? Me not sound fucking like an idiot. I would sound stupid to ask a celebrity that, right? People believe in themselves and people create what they want to create. In the beginning, there are going to be rough starts, rough patches, especially in figuring out what it is that you're doing, which has happened with DJ Akademiks. But once you've kind of ironed it out, you kind of know exactly what you're doing, right? So I just feel like this opinion that DJ Akademiks shouldn't even be where he's at, I just didn't like it from that guy, right? I feel like they respect who they want to respect. And if they see you as a big fish, oh, they want to respect you. But if they see you as a little fish, they want to disrespect you. So when a little fish disrespects you back, or the little fish is there disrespecting you, don't say nothing, right? Because you be disrespecting him too. But with that being said, I don't really look at DJ Academics any different way after this clip. I really and truly want to own in on what this guy, this Vic, whoever this guy has to say. Like, I don't get it. All right. So like again, so remember with the sexy red Kaya situation, how I'm done talking about it after today. This is one of those situations that after today we are not even revisiting this conversation again. So again, Saucy Santana and DJ Academics are at it. Whack 100 gets involved. How does Whack 100 get involved? We're going to, take a look and
let's really keep it a
we're going to take a look and find out later on in the show. I think this is just a clip of Saucy Santana just talking about it. But after today, November the 4th, as it relates to DJ Academics and Saucy Santana, unless something major pops off, I'm not even going to really entertain their back and forth. So according to It's On Site, Saucy Santana goes off on DJ Academics and Whack 100. You want to link up with the power puff with the powder puff girls, start chatting. Okay, so let me just play because yeah.
This shit just get worse by the day. So now this bitch ass nigga Academics done went and did a link up with Whack 100 and another powder puff girl sitting on the motherfucking couch, face full of motherfucking fear. And then you got Whack 100 calling another bisexual boy like he gonna do something to me. Bitch, who? Bitch, where? You done left one headquarters and went to another headquarters, but still ain't show up in Miami, and I'm not gonna see you no motherfucking where. So shut the fuck up. And I was gonna leave you alone once you started motherfucking crying. But since you wanna keep chatting and you done did a whole bad bitch link up, I got something for you. And Whack 100, you a bitch. That's why he came and found you. You a bitch ass nigga too. You was the manager that's in love with Blueface that was mad because Blueface go with Krishan, right? That's you. Mad at a nigga about his bitch. All y'all suck one. Honestly. This shit just get worse. Bean though. The same way you go, stop the gay boy narrative. We can't say nothing to him. All this cancel culture shit. It's plenty of things to say about me besides being gay. So y'all can stop that one right there. The same way you was fucking with a bitch about album sales, and the same way you fuck with everybody else about how they music and their statistics, go do the same thing. I'm gonna keep it 100. The last 3 songs I put out did not do well. The last 3 songs I put out did not do well. That plaque's still on the thing though. But the last 3 songs ain't do well. You can go pick on my YouTube numbers. Go pick on my monthly listeners on Spotify. Go pick on my Apple streams. You could clown me as an artist like you do everybody else. Why the fuck is y'all gotta stick up y'all ass like y'all don't know what to say back to me?
So again, last day of talking about this Saucy Santana DJ Academics drama, because again, it is literally pointless. But here it is. Saucy Santana is addressing DJ Academics and Whack 100 for Whack 100 sitting on a podcast and calling up his bisexual or gay friend to fight Saucy Santana, saying that, hey, you know what, we can't do it because if we do it, it becomes essentially what I was getting. It becomes the hate crime, or it becomes something really, really bad for us. But if you do it, being a gay person, it'll all be good. And mind you, Whack 100 did this on a podcast. Now I just I just be like, all for commentary. But I'm moving on. Whether they want to move on from this argument or this spat or this dispute or whatever they're having, I'm moving the hell on. All right. This is the same thing that hold on, let me see that I was talking about with Northwest and Kim Kardashian.
I love spending this time with North.
um this is the same clip that I was talking about with Kim Kardashian and North, but this one is a better angle, right? Where Kim like gets into it, how she loves sharing quality time with North and how she likes to tell North about all these things that she's doing and blah blah blah, just for North to say, what the hell does she do? So let's just look at it
Right now, just because I'm about to go to Pelican Bay and visit a prison there. And anytime I can talk to her about what I do and why I do it is really important to me.
What do you think about the work your mom does?
What does she do? I love.
So it's like, hold on, if you're talking to Northwest about all this work that you've been doing, how doesn't she know what you doing? Again, it's always your kids, okay? They will definitely get you. And that's not to say Kim Kardashian is a liar. She probably talked to North about the prison reform work that she does like 100 gazillion times. But if the kid don't remember, the kid just does not remember, right? Everybody keeps saying, hey, look, this girl is Kanye, and definitely is.
So that's why I want
Definitely is. Now let's move on to Ari Flesher, who shares a vulnerable moment with her father as they sit down for the first time. So let's see this clip.
you need to like picture that. My life was really at my job most of the time. Like, I work hella hours, 10 and 12-hour days until you became 18 years old.
That don't mean nothing.
That means something.
No. You weren't there for graduation. You weren't there for dances, for prom. I feel like it's completely like missing out on my life.
But I was chasing happiness too for myself. That's what I got caught up in.
So you got what you accomplished. You feel okay? No.
No, because the reason
Because I'm off child support.
No, the reason
Let's take a shot today.
No.
That's bullshit. I feel like coming here and getting his side and hearing his truth is just kind of like a letdown for me.
Even though I don't like see you physically like we doing now, I'm strolling through Instagram and then I see a picture of you. I'm like, oh, okay, she doing all right. I don't even have to communicate with her. Damn, so that's why I want you to, you need to like picture that. My life was really at my job.
I mean, it can be a bummer for people for even though we like to say, oh hey, we're naturally all just literally kids at heart. And when as kids we experience the neglect from our parent, whether one or both, mama, daddy, whomever, it does take a toll on us. And I think what Ari is experiencing now was actually taking a bigger toll on her, just to kind of finally have that conversation with your dad. And while having that conversation, he just says, hey, like, I kind of had a life I was living as well, and you seemed good. And nothing, I feel like, is ever going to be an acceptable answer for the neglect that we experience as children. Because it's like, okay, well, if you didn't want me, then why bring me here? I think what happens a lot of times is when we have our own children, we start to not realize what our parents went through, but empathize with them a little bit more, right? And also, while empathizing with them, still being a better version of who they were. So I just feel like Ari, just, girl, just do your thing. And when you know better, you just do better, right? Okay, so let's get into the drama, the Megan the Stallion, Jada Kingdom, and Pardi, and all of that. So, according to Neighborhood Talk, Jada Kingdom says she wasn't the one giving Pardi head. Megan where Megan was sleeping. So remember in Megan Thee Stallion's song, she has that line where she calls out whoever her boyfriend is, the guy that she was dating, which we all assume to be Partisan Fontaine. Basically, she talks about him receiving head in the same place where she rests her head. So I guess Jada Kingdom probably felt attacked. You know how we as fans do. We be like, oh, was it you? Was it you? Was it you? So Jada Kingdom felt the need to address. So this is what Jada Kingdom had to say. So I guess I knew the lyrics before it dropped, right? And I decided to post my flowers 8 hours before as a hint. It's me, guys. Huh? Why? The internet is a special place. I know it's gonna drive y'all crazy to not have someone specific to terrorize for y'all president, but it wasn't me. So I guess, like, I don't know, like Jada, I just feel like her response was a little bit like unnecessary. Like she's being very sarcastic, and look, that's a Jamaica woman still. So we're still we'll look at extra, we're trying to look at thing. So she has to, so what she's saying is, yeah, because I like basically I guess her fans are like attacking her, saying, hey, you knew, that's why you posted these roses and stuff like that. You know, that's like, you know, the fans are kind of like attacking her and stuff. And Jada said, yeah, because I know, like Jada's being like sarcastic, like, yeah, I know what's going on in her head. I knew the lyrics. That's why I posted my flowers. It was me. Yeah. Say all the things. And then she's saying, no, newsflash, I'm not the one she's talking about as it relates to your president. And I just feel like, hey, you could have articulated your sentiments in a more easier way, because at the end of the day, Megan Thee Stallion and you have completely no beef. You're dating her ex. Like, there's no beef. But anyway, let's move on. Like we know Megan Thee Stallion is gonna be doing. Okay. Okay. So Ocho Cinco, according to the Neighborhood Talk, disapproves of Keith Lee's Atlanta restaurant critiques. Says the service isn't actually bad. You know how hard it is for us to get into the food industry. Okay. This is a very different perspective. Let's listen to what Ocho Cinco had to say with Shannon Sharp.
Being a professional athlete, we get privileges sometimes at the restaurant, and sometimes we get to get things that normal people don't get. It happens.
I don't like it.
Ocho. So you've never gotten the table because you were Ocho Cinco.
I'm not talking about that. Yeah. And when they do, I mean, you know me, you know how I move, and everybody in this chat knows how I move when I go to restaurants. If you seat me first, you understand what's coming at the end when it's time to tip. I've been doing that 20-some years.
Okay, but
I don't like the fact of what he's doing.
Ocho,
I don't like. I don't like it. I don't like the critiquing of our restaurants and having people and talking bad about our goddamn businesses and like, dude, you know how hard it is,
and I get it, Ocho,
for us to even get in the food industry and to have our own restaurant and so.
Ocho,
like, what are we doing?
Don't ask me to come to your house and then ask me what I think about it without asking me to give you my honest opinion.
Nobody asked. Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for that.
A lot of these people, listen, a lot of these restaurants do DM him, ask him to come. But he wants to go on. A lot of times he wants to go unannounced and give people. That's what he is. He's a food critic. He's turned himself into a food critic. It's okay.
Are we turning himself into resume? What are the qualifications of being a food critic?
Go to a restaurant and do you like the food? Did you like the customer service? What was it like? Yes. What was the wait time like? That's all you got to do.
How about go do that at Maestro's? Go do that shit at Chris Roof. Go do it at Poppy Steak. Go do it at fucking Zuma. Go do it at goddamn whatever the fucking rest of them goddamn 5-star restaurants that everybody. Go do it at that. Name one of the restaurants you go to in LA. Name one. Where you and Selena Gomez went? Where y'all went? What's the name of the restaurant y'all went to?
I don't forgot now.
You know. I
honestly forgot because I have never been there before.
Go do it at day restaurants and give them the bad press and all the bad.
Ocho. Because you're black doesn't mean you're above criticism.
I'm not saying you're above anything, but go do it there. It's hard enough for us as it is. Now here you go.
So in other words, if he got bad service, he's supposed to just let that slide.
Service wasn't bad. Service wasn't bad. Service because it wasn't. It wasn't. I ain't never had bad service. And even if the service was bad, they might be having a bad day because some of the goddamn idiots they don't have to deal with.
Ocho, honestly, in the customer service business, you can't have a bad day. Because think about what you just said. Customer service.
Do you know what it's like dealing with some of these people?
You shouldn't get in that business. Do not get into the customer service business if you can be easily perturbed by having a bad day.
Well, sometimes you need a job. And sometimes that job, being customer service and being in the food industry, is all you can do.
Ocho, I know me. I can't be in the customer service business because I'm easily irritated. I don't like I ordered this and they mess up the order. Okay, I get that, Ocho, but you have to understand people are paying their hard-earned money. So I have the right. If I like the service, I'm going to say I like the service. Being a professional athlete, we get privileges sometimes at the restaurant.
Okay. So, let's discuss. I am totally in agreement with Shannon Sharp as opposed to Ocho Cinco. I feel like Shannon Sharp's thought process I can get jiggy with. Ocho Cinco, I can't. I feel like Ocho Cinco is someone who isn't wanting the restaurants to be held accountable for all the things, right? What I would love to see is more little food critics probably pop up in like these like little in like my neighborhood, the next neighborhood over, like do like your local neighborhoods and like let these little things go viral, because at the end of the day, who holds you accountable as a business? Who holds you accountable? I feel like people get into business with this I don't give a fuck mentality, I don't care mentality. I'm going to do what I want to do. That's why I decided to go open my business. And it's like, that's not what you're doing. That's not how it's going to work. If you want to, like, let's say, go into a business where it's just you alone and you're probably doing investment stocks, whatever you're doing, then you do that there. But whenever you decide to come into a business where you have customers and stuff like that, you must value customer service. And I feel like we need to, as society, make that a requirement. What we allow as society is what we will continue. There's no reason why we should be going to these restaurants paying $60 to $100, $200, $300 for these foods, for the food to not taste good, for you to have a horrible experience, horrible wait time, people not wanting to serve you. It's a lot. As people, we already have stresses in our lives, so we choose to find these outlets to go to a restaurant, go to a bar, go here to have a good time. So as a restaurant owner, your thought process shouldn't be, hey, I'm just doing this to get by, or you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it however I want to do it, and these customers are coming in to serve me. No. As a restaurant owner, you are there to serve your customer and provide them with the best experience possible. So you dot your I's and you cross your freaking T's. And I like the fact that Keith Lee is out here doing what he's doing. I didn't really know about him until he recently went viral for doing like the ATL restaurants and stuff like that. And I feel like if you go somewhere and you're like, hey, this is my experience, blah, 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 go at your own risk, then that's what it is. If you want to experience that, then you go. But if you don't want to experience that, then you be like, hey, I don't have time for that today, right? Let people know what to expect. It's the same thing with these hair critiques. Like, people go into these hair salons and they're tagging don't go here, blah, blah, blah. This was my experience. It puts you as an individual on guard. Like, you are opening a business. Yes, you can do some mama pop stuff, like where it's a small business, but that doesn't negate the fact that you have to run your business professionally and you have to provide professional service. So not because you're a smaller business or whatever, because he did talk about the Ruth Chris's of the world and all these different things and compare them to these small businesses. Not because you're a small business, that does not exempt you from regular ass customer service. It doesn't. It doesn't exempt you from certain things. And I get it. Some businesses, and I can understand the financial implications of, okay, if I have to open 7 days a week versus maybe being open 3 days to 4 days. I went into business so that I could have more vacation time and I could stay home more. So I'm going to only be open 4 days, and I'm going to only open from Thursday to Friday and blah blah blah. I'm not knocking that aspect of it, but let that be branded into your company. Don't feel insulted because someone has now spoken on the rules and regulations that you have set forth for your business. Imagine Chick-fil-A. Everyone knows Chick-fil-A not open on Sunday. I don't know how they do it in other states, but in New York, especially in Long Island, Chick-fil-A, go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday, they not open. You know that. So because you know that, you don't waste your time going to Chick-fil-A trying to go in on a Sunday, right? Is that like a bad thing? No, it's just their rules and guidelines. So if someone says, hey, I went to this restaurant, this was my experience, these are their rules. Now the next person looking to go be like, oh, okay, well, I can get jiggy with this, or nah, I can't do this. The other person is able to decide whether they can really work it out, But I think to tell somebody, like, let me tell you something. I it really grinds my gears, and I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, where people, especially successful people, it pisses me off. But when people try to put limitations on what the next person can or cannot do in terms of their career path, right? So it stems from the DJ Akademiks of the world, the Keith Lees, these people who decide that, hey, you know what? They sit down in the corner of their room, they come up with a plan to move forward, and they're moving forward with their plan that they've created. And as they're moving forward, they're receiving success with that, just to have someone else look at them and be like, oh, why do you think you can do that? You shouldn't even be doing that. Excuse me? In this world with billions of people, you telling another man another man or woman, what he or she can or cannot do? Absolutely not. However, you are able to create financial freedom for yourself. You go ahead and you do that. And that's what Keith Lee is doing. I don't know if he's rich or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he's not doing this stuff for free. I'm pretty sure his reviews get views or whatever. In some way, some shape or form, this man has become monetized or whatever. And even if he's not monetized, even if he's just getting food, or even if he just enjoys it, whatever the reason is, let people be people. Let people exist. Let them exist. Right? And the thing is, people who be talking the most, put in the same position, they would do the same things. Right? But anyway, off of my little tangent, because I really did go off there. And again, this is not like, oh, I'm pissed off at Ocho Cinco or whatever. I'm just expressing passionately how I feel about this. Like, there should be no reason why we're telling the next person what they should be doing for work, what they should be doing for business. Unless you paying my bills, investing in me, don't tell me nothing about here. Okay? Like, but anyway, we have been at it for 2 hours and 17 minutes. So 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm not doing the Krishan stuff. And you know what? Let's close out with this Megan the Stallion clip from her new video. I just kind of want to have an idea of all the topics that we discussed today. Ooh, you know what? we're gonna close out with Jada Waiter. We're gonna discuss Megan Thee Stallion and Jada Waiter, and then we're going to close out and we're gonna discuss the rest of the topics tomorrow. Yes, I'll be here Sunday tomorrow to discuss the topics with you. Now let's jump into Megan Thee Stallion real quick. This is her song. Her song has, well, yesterday when I checked, it did go #1 on YouTube. And according to Megan Thee Stallion, her Instagram post, it seems as if she is top 10 on iTunes. So the song is successful. Now, let me just give you guys a breakdown in terms of what I feel, how I feel about the song. I feel like the song is very different from what Megan Thee Stallion normally does. Megan Thee Stallion, she's a hottie. She talks about shaking her booty. She talk about not taking no crap from no guy, and she just talks about being confident, right? And that's like her whole spiel. So when she did go into this direction of like shedding her skin and being more like deep into her raps and more like vulnerable about like what's going on behind the scenes, it was like, okay, well, this is different. But again, Megan Thee Stallion knows how to rap. So I feel like when you know how to rap, it doesn't really matter what you're rapping about. Like, it just doesn't matter what you're rapping about. Like, you can put some shit together. And I feel like that's what Megan Thee Stallion has done. She has put her heart, her experience, and everything into this. And because she knows how to rap, she knows how to compile it all together. And you have Cobra. Now, do I have any critiques about Cobra? No, because even though it is different, I think going through the experiences that Megan Thee Stallion has gone through in the past couple of years, especially with the Tory Lanez case, I do feel like your first single, your first solo single back out should be something of substance, right? So I really, really like the approach that she has taken. She talked about her fear with the friends who, hey, they want to be around when shit is good, but I'm pretty sure if I fell off and shit dried up, y'all wouldn't be here. You know, she talked about her relationship. She talked about a lot of different things. And let's not forget the visuals. Like, I don't know if it's like Rock Nation being having their hands in the cookie jar, just adding that management aspect around her that allows for her to produce such amazing quality visuals, or it's just Megan Thee Stallion's ideas. However, the visuals were awesome. Seeing the shedding of the skin and basically being brand new, right? And I like the concept of it, and I like the fact that she actually put thought into it, right? Some of the things that I see some of the rappers do, I don't think there's much thought into it. I just feel like, oh, it's a ass shaking song. Let's just do it. So I do like the fact that she has taken this direction. And I wouldn't say it's the first time she has taken this direction. However, it's the first time I've seen her done it like this. So let me just try to play a clip of it. Now, while playing this clip, I will definitely shut down the volume and allow the visuals to play because I don't want to get hit for the copyrights. So let's just, listen and watch.
He know this pussy depressed. I'm about to stress him. Yeah, big nails around his neck. But this ain't domestic. Hey, think it's going down.
Okay, so we're just gonna look at the visuals because again, I don't want to get hit for copyright for the like, look at her. Look at how beautiful she is. That's her shedding the skin, right? Megan Thee Stallion is just so beautiful. Her body is bodying, and there it is. That's my friend. There is Cobra. Now, just go onto YouTube and check out her video and stuff like that. And I feel like, hey, you know what, Meg, like, this is a nice reintroduction to us. Stay on track, stay on path. Keep rapping the way that you rap. Excuse me. And just keep doing what you're doing. Keep up with the visuals. because whatever recipe you have, it's working for you. So just keep going. Don't look back in the past. Don't tip over and look back. Just keep on the track. Okay, so Jada Oweda, look here, my girl Jada Oweda. This girl is a baddie. She is a 10, okay? She is a baddie with her baddie friends, okay? Jada, like for those of you who are listening to the audio podcast, of course you can't see this, but this is Jada Wada just booty tooting in Dubai. Like Jada, let's trade places just for 30 minutes. Like let me be in Dubai with my booty cheeks tucked like yours right now and having a blast, right? I just feel like her and her friends, her and Desti Dior, they're just living their life to their fullest potential, as they should. As they should. And here she is looking beautiful. Of course, you got Des in the background, her bestie. They're doing shots. They're doing all the things. And I also had in a future story coming up where they said that little baby may also be in Dubai as well. So we don't know if it's like a vacation or just like a hey, I'm performing here, come out with your friends, just like a friendcation. We don't know what exactly is going on, but hey, if we do know one or two things, Lil Baby and Jada are they're going to be together. Like they're going to be spotted together, hanging out together, whether they're together or not. That's just the nature of their relationship. And I like the fact that they're, even though they're young, they're mature enough to understand that it's okay for them to exist together, right? They're co-parents, right? But I just feel like you don't really see Jada or Lil Baby go online disrespecting each other or blase blah. So shout out to Jada. Another one, I love me some Meg the Stallion. I love me some Jada Wada. Oh my god. And that's yours. She's like right there. Mwah. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today. We were literally here for about 2.5 hours, guys. Yes, 2.5 hours. Now, for those of you who sat with me all the way through, thank you. For those of you who popped your head in, popped your head out, popped your head back in, and are still here, thank you as well. But let's revisit real quick our quote of the day. And the quote of the day again comes from Dolly Parton. And what Dolly Parton had to say was, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. So if you want the good that comes from life, you have to be able to press through all the turmoil as well to get to your destination. Now, thank you guys for sitting with me through another podcast episode. For those of you who sit with me through the end, y'all know this be the hardest time because I don't want to have to let go, but I do have to make some runs. Today is Saturday. I normally do go to like do some stuff for my church and stuff like that on Saturday. I'm running extremely late today, but we had to do a little podcast, right? We had to do a little podcast. So, yeah, I don't know how you guys plan on spending the rest of your Saturday, but either whether you choose to relax or you choose to make it a productive one, like in Jamaica, what we normally do, we say, or even not even Jamaica, but just Jamaican culture, we say Saturday a cleaning day. Saturday, you wake up and you clean up your house from morning to whenever you're done. You cook your food, you go grocery shop, and you go do all the little things. Then you go wash your clothes, do all the little things. And when you have to do, for get ready for the week. And then Sunday is like your rest day. So I don't know what kind of plans you guys have for this Saturday, but whatever your plans are, enjoy it to the fullest. And I will chat with you guys tomorrow. Yes, I'm going to be here on Sunday. So tune in as to what time. I want to say maybe in the evening time. Because again, I gotta go to church. But anyway, we'll talk. Bye.